Hello, welcome back to another goddamn vlog. I hope you're very well. Today's vlog was actually going to be like a day in the life type vlog, but I actually had an interesting question over on my Instagram, and that's going to be the topic of today's vlog. So sit back, relax, prepare to be educated, and we're going to go to the gym, train Paul, and then I'll voice over the question. Alright, okay, so very good session at the coach, by the way. It's where I'm going to be spending a lot of my off season is out of the coach for a couple of reasons. Number one, equipment is just insane, environment is insane as well, and both of them are very, very important in the massing phase. You don't have to be in the most optimal environment possible, but if you are wanting to maximize your physique development, putting yourself into the best environment possible, it's probably a good idea, which we can now get into the topic of today's vlog, which is intuitive eating. We'll just read out the question. Basically, I got a question over on Instagram by Jevon. Sorry if I fuck your name up. Basically, thoughts on intuitive eating in the massing phase, then also thoughts into not tracking gym lifts. Can you still optimize gains? Now, we'll kind of dissect this, right? So, there's people who could benefit from this, and there's people who wouldn't benefit from it. Now, understand when you're a newbie, you're probably going to want to track your lifts, you're probably going to want to track your calories to get an understanding of what needs to go on in order for you to gain muscle, right? Then you've got like the pro, right, who is very in tune with their physique. They might benefit from intuitively eating because they have nutritional awareness. And also, like, tracking gym lifts, they probably know gym lifts to somewhat of a degree. Say, for example, if I said 8 to 12 rep range, Nautilus Nitro chest press, without even looking, I know what I can do, right? It's basically not really that hard. It's one pin off the stack, but... well, you're hard. But, yeah, I know my numbers intuitively, right? Now, the last question, or the last section of this question, is basically where I would be on the side of, can you optimize? No. So, when people talk about not tracking calories in an off-season, when people talk about not tracking gym lifts in a off-season, there's a massive thing, especially on Instagram, where people talk about maximizing. So, let's just say, for example, in order to maximize your gym lifts, you have to track your calories and you have to track your gym lifts, which is very, very true. Now, this doesn't mean if you don't do these two, then you're not going to gain muscle. So there's a big difference, right? You can, just to some extent, still gain muscle whilst doing very, very little, right? Now, can you optimize? Can you maximize? No. The tighter you can keep everything in an off season, the more muscle you're going to build. There's kind of like a spectrum, as it were, right? So if you want to maximize something, you're probably going to have to do everything maximally, right? You're going to have to track, you're going to have to look at your rate of gain, you're going to have to check in with your coach, you're going to have to do all of these things in order to maximize your muscle growth. But if you just want a little bit of muscle, that flexibility is huge, right? Now, you can get too loose, right? So if you're looking at intuitively eating, if you lack nutritional knowledge like a beginner, understand that your intuitive eating could be like donuts and cake and, you know, that sausage rolls. That type of intuitive eating probably wouldn't work. Although you could argue if you're training really fucking hard, you'll still be able to gain muscle. And then not tracking your lifts, you'd probably be missing out if you don't track your lifts. That's not from the form of progressive overload. That's just from a simple standpoint of like diagnosing, data logging, right? Say, for example, I've had a very, very stressful day. I've tracked everything and I can see everything's down. I can then correlate my fucked up day or my fatigue day to the gym lifts, right? They're kind of like tied together. Whereas if you don't, I suppose like, if you don't logbook, you don't have that like data reference point. It's almost like tracking your scale weight. It's like you can get away with not tracking your scale weight, but you're probably going to be missing out with, I suppose, like performance increases and recovery capacity by not tracking your scale weight. So my whole kind of like answer to this question When someone asks about like intuitive eating, can you get away with it? Not tracking gym lifts, not tracking calories, not tracking scale weight, just not tracking much. Can I get away with it? My answer is always yes, you can get away with it. If someone was to turn around and say, can I maximize my muscle gain? Then I would say no. So what I would do is look at things on social media when someone's saying, you can't do this, you can't eat Cocoa Pops, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. Try and dissect in your head, is the person they're talking about, is it to maximize muscle gain or maximize progress, or is it to get away with, right? Because there's nearly, I suppose, like, you could do nearly everything. Nothing is illegal in hypertrophy, you know? You could do next to anything and build muscle. The question is, can you be maximizing? Can you do more in order to see more progress? And that's my overarching question, and that's my overarching answer to this question. It's a very long-winded way to answer the question, but you get what I mean, right? So yeah, back to the vlog, and we're back in room, lad. That's very northern, isn't it? Now you can do a northern accent. Do your northern accent.
Northerners love gravy.
Northerners love gravy. We have 250 grams of lean mince. We have green beans, and we have 2 bagels because man's is getting jacked as fuck. You feel, Natalie? Now you're here, or whilst you're here, tell YouTube how you're feeling. How you feeling being pregnant AF?
I'm good.
You're good.
I'm growing.
You're growing. You're massing.
We're an apple now.
You're an apple.
Yep, carrying an apple.
That's the size of our kid. Anyway, I'm gonna love you and leave you because I'm gonna try and edit and get this out for today. Hope you all very well. Hope you took something away. If you didn't, well, fuck, sorry. I just wasted your time. Much love. Anything you want to say now?
Ta-da.
Ta-da. That's very normal as well. All right.